I do not have a good skin day today. And in fact, I have a horrible skin day today because I followed some stupid TikTok video yesterday that said, oh, if you have too much oil on your skin, how about you put some baking soda on it? So I dusted the slightest bit of baking soda on my skin. And about half an hour later, I ran to the bathroom and washed my face off and slathered it in cream because it was burning. Don't follow instructions that you find on TikTok because it'll cost you your skin. So I put the low skin filter on today, so my skin looks a bit more normal instead of like raw. But hopefully, it's not distracting from what we want to talk about. So. Hello, welcome back. It's glad that you came to join me here. I have bought a new lens. Yes, another one. I go nuts. You know, after 3 years using a camera that had a fixed lens attached to it, so lens loss was a complete foreign subject to me. I am now back to where I see lenses and I think I need to buy them. So the newest lens I bought is actually the cheapest lens I've ever bought. It is called the TT Artisan, which stands for the Thinking Artisan, a 27f 2.8 lens that has been created for Nikon, Sony, Fuji, whatever. Everybody can have this lens. And it is absolutely small. Tiny little lens. Now, you know from my last video that I was looking for a pancake lens for the Sony. After coming from a camera that had a fixed lens, a pancake lens on the body, I kind of like the idea of having a lens that is not like massive to take around with you. And I bought the Sony 20mm f 2.8 lens, and it was dreadful. It was an expensive lens, and it was soft at 2.8. The f2.8 is a value that's important to me because I like the shallowest depth of field in all of my pictures and videos because I want to distinguish my footage from something that an iPhone could do. So you need that depth of field a little bit. But unfortunately, it was too soft at f2.8, and for the price that I paid for it, it was just not okay. That would have been a great focal length, but it was again wide. I already have the 15 that I'm using right now, so then I stumbled across this 27mm lens that was only marginally bigger, like taller than the Sony lens, but so much cheaper. It was 205 Canadian dollars plus tax, so $229 shipped to me from Amazon, and I didn't expect much. I thought if Sony cannot manage to get a sharp image for their pancake lens, why would TT Artisan be able to do that any better at a lower price? But I have to say, I was very, very surprised. Again, with lenses that come from third-party manufacturers that are manufactured in China, where quality control often lacks a little bit, I was expecting to may have to order 2 or 3 lenses before I find a keeper, but the first one that was sent to me, fantastic. It is a great lens for the price. There are some things that are not great about this lens. For example, it has very dark corners, so there's some vignetting happening at f2.8. It is also muting the colors a little bit. I don't know how that's even possible, but when you have your standard setting on your camera and it is not as bright and colorful as other lenses, then obviously there's something with the glass that they're using. But that kind of adds to its charm a little bit. It's muted colors. I've always been somebody who enjoys using muted colors instead of like this full bright stuff. And the picture is darker than, let's say, on any other lens at the same focal range. but it is sharp. It is sharp enough. But one thing it doesn't have is purple fringing, the chromatic aberration that you see when you take pictures of dark things on a bright background. Purple fringing is like, oh, can't stand it. So this lens, for the $200 it cost, doesn't have any. Couldn't find any so far, which is totally surprising to me. Totally. Not even at f2.8. Will I use this lens all the time now? Will this become my favorite lens? Don't think so. Everything below a 1.8 is like, really? Do we have to? But so, A6700, smallest lens that I recommend for this thing is this one. TT Artisan f2.8, 27 millimeter. Autofocus. I don't want to deal with anything that's not autofocus. Like I'm not doing manual focus. Forget that. Oh, by the way, so it has contacts in there, and then here there's a little USB-C port. You plug this into a PC, and you can then put the firmware update onto the lens directly with a cable. You cannot do this on Mac. I tried it, didn't work. So I got to go to the office on Wednesday and try to do it on a computer there, because at my office they have PCs. So let's hope it can be done. But even without that update, this lens already works really good. Okay, so that's where we're at. I have some footage there for you that I took with this lens. Wyatt, do you have anything to say, Gracie? What about you, Wyatt? Do you have anything to say, Wyatt? You just always want stuff done to you, don't you? Bless you. And Wyatt? What would you, Wyatt? No. No interest. All right. I think all in all, the lens is an absolute steal. It's light. It literally weighs nothing. And I've seen a lot of reviews about this lens, and people are saying it doesn't weigh anything. Well, it weighs something, but it weighs less than 100 grams. You don't even feel it on your camera. I'm still considering to maybe check out the Sigma 30mm f1.4, but now I'm kind of stretched because I spent the money and got the Sigma 56mm lens. And I love that lens, only it is so restrictive in the photography that you do, especially when you're filming or taking pictures inside a building, inside a room. You literally have to go into the next room to get a little bit more of the subject in your frame. And I know I'm not going to use this lens. So spending close to $600 Canadian again on a lens that I will use every once in a while, when for portraits I can very well use this 18 to 50 millimeter lens from Sigma that may not give me the same beautiful background bokeh than the 56 f1.4, but I will get way more use out of it. And again, I'm coming from a place where for 3 years I had a camera with a fixed lens. There was only this lens available to me, and that was it. So having suddenly so many lenses to choose from may be more hindering in my creativity than increasing it. I'm going to try to stick with these 3 lenses only. The 15mm f1.4 from Sony for filming my talking headshots, the ones that we're doing right now. The 18 to 50 f2.8 from Sigma for traveling, for going on road trips, for doing all kinds of things. And then this one here, this 27mm f2.8 from TT Artisan, to throw the camera in my purse and have it with me at all times. The best camera is the one you have with you. And if you get a lens that's small enough to put on your camera so you can bring that camera wherever you go, That's the best lens with the best camera. Speaking of photographic art, did you notice? I'll take pictures of it with that new lens. So you will see what I'm having hanging up behind my head. I don't know, maybe that baking soda also screwed my brain up. Also, I did another camera test with the A6700. I had it on my tripod. I had the screen open. I filmed at 24 FPS. I had the autofocus on. I tried to go into the picture every once in a while so it wouldn't just film the wall. And it filmed and filmed and filmed until the battery ran out about 2 hours and 15 minutes later. The camera was nice and toasty. Okay? It wasn't cool, but it wasn't hot either. It wasn't hot. It was warm. And yeah, 2 hours, 15 minutes. Didn't shut down at all. Obviously, if I'm doing this again next summer and it's 30 degrees in this room and it shuts down after an hour, it's still an acceptable result for me because I'm not going to sit here for an hour filming myself in 30-degree temperatures. I'm not a wedding photographer. If you're a wedding or an event photographer and you're going to film outside in blazing temperatures all the time, no. FX30. Get the FX30. It has a built-in fan. It will never overheat for you. Yeah, evaluate what you need. If you want a true hybrid camera with a viewfinder that takes fantastic video, A6700. Unless you want to go full frame and then ask somebody else because I know nothing about full frame. I only know that the lenses are bigger, the lenses are costly, the cameras are bigger, cameras are more costly, and I'm really happy with the APS-C sensor because it's still better than a cell phone. All right, so I promised I would do a test of a handheld video with the Sigma 18 to 50, what that would look like. And I'm going to put that right here so you can see how much of my head is cut off. So I'm holding this camera right now with an outstretched arm, as you can see, my fat arm. This is the 18 to 50 millimeter f 2.8 lens from Sigma with an outstretched arm that is going to fall off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I hope that was helpful. And if you have any other questions, anybody of you has questions that they think I could answer, why in the heck would I be the one answering these technical questions? I don't know, but you can ask. If I have the answers, I will give them. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again to sit through this mess of a video. And I hope I will see you again in my next video. Bye.